All right, mate. That was really gentle.
No, I was thinking of the word.
All right.
Anyway, let's try again.
All right.
Right.
Bosh. Welcome to podcast. That's not really a podcast. How is that? Isn't that good? Memory lane.
Oh wow! I'm not even pretending.
It's the exact one.
Oh fuck!
It's
that's
the
good.
Marsilia, I think it's called. If you know, you know. Lanzarote. Well, it's Spanish coffee. They do it in Spain. So, but doesn't that remind you of? Oh my god, the coffee filter machine in Lanzarote.
Right, that.
It's good, isn't it?
That's.
Yeah, it's actually brilliant. That's my favourite.
I like that.
It's good.
I like that a lot.
And see, he was like, I don't want a coffee today. I was like, sorry, mate. It's my house.
My house, my rules.
I didn't say that. I was like, have a coffee. C word.
Things match our outfits again. You've got a grey mug and you got a grey top. I got this and.
Oh yeah, look at that. Cool. Look, we are fashionistas as well. There are some stains on my trousers there. I thought these were clean, but yeah. So, welcome back to the unnamed. I keep calling it podcast. I keep calling it show. Basically, I'll be completely honest with you. This is a chance for us to just talk about our experience in the fitness world and take little clips for social media content. Really. So, if you listen to the long video, you get a sticker. Drop a comment saying "sticker, please." But yeah, I'm Sam, coach at Elite Transformation Project.
I'm Cal. I am not by my microphone, so I'm Cal, and I'm on Instagram at Cal Spencer Training.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Lovely. So, me and Cam haven't seen each other for a little while. You probably noticed that by the infrequency of uploads. We actually did do 5 episodes, but they were very quick. It wasn't until I looked back at them that they were filmed a bit off, and they weren't very good, and I think I had a headache. I think I just rushed them. There's probably some bits in there, but yeah, this is going to be the next one up. So I thought we'd keep this one a little bit more simple today. And one of the topics I want to talk about is something that's quite important when it comes to losing body fat and making it sustainable and actually making the whole process quite enjoyable, is flexibility with your food. Are you flexible with your food, mate?
Mate, I am extremely flexible. I don't believe in cutting this out or cutting that out. It's I don't know. It just goes back to keep it simple. And if you don't enjoy what you're doing, why do you expect to do it for the long term? Because you're not going to make progress in 2 weeks.
Exactly.
So just do something you can actually stick to. And if you're a foodie, the gym just gives you another reason to be able to eat more food. Increasing your calorie deficit means you can eat more food, and you need to fuel yourself to actually make progress in the gym too. So, yeah.
I think what you said there is right, because when you said you're not going to get results in 2 weeks, that's true, right? And I think most people know that this day and age. But what you mean by that is, okay, if I don't make progress in 2 weeks, then if my diet is not something I can stick to longer than 2 weeks, it's probably not going to work.
100%.
So it's like when someone goes, right, I've gained 10 pounds, don't like it, I'm going to have a salad and try and lose the weight. And they're either going to lose a lot of scale weight because they're just not eating as much food, so they're going to weigh less, but they actually haven't lost any fat yet. And then if they can't stick to it longer than, say, let's be real, depending on how much they've got to lose, they might need to be dieting for a good 4 months, 6 months, maybe a year, maybe on and off for a year. If you can't stick to it long enough, it's just not going to work. So a diet needs to be sustainable, and one of the best ways to do that is allow yourself the flexibility to eat the foods you like, but fit it in. And how do we do that, Callum?
Not keto. We track our calories.
That's
100% track off.
You get a Beto for saying that.
Yeah.
Tracking
calories.
Yeah, tracking calories. And I know, to be fair, I'm quite glad, but a lot of people talk about tracking calories these days. And the reason, I'll tell you why I'm so passionate about it, is from the age of 14, I was like, I want to get big and strong. How do I do that? And then everyone's going, bro, you need to eat brown rice. You see this horrible dry chicken breast that looks like a bit of leather in a box. Open it and eat it. I'm like, okay, this is horrible, but at least I'm going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in a few weeks. Yeah. And I followed all that stuff, bought all the supplements. Brown rice is horrible. I'm just saying it right now. It's absolutely fucking horrible.
Thai jasmine rice is where it's at.
That's nice. Oh. No, you're not allowed that. It's white carbs, bro.
Oh,
so
no.
You don't have complex carbs. So I did all this literally from the age of 14 up until about 20. So a good 6 years of nothing. And I won't put it on here because I'm too lazy, but if this is a clip, I'll put it there. There's a picture of me. This picture right here, if I remember to put it up, it's the one from the old band photo shoot.
Sure.
I actually was training for 6 years. And you look at it and go, what? And I'm like, yeah, that's 6 years of training. And why didn't it work? Because my calories weren't right. And I didn't understand about calories because I didn't track them. And as soon as I tracked them, I made more progress in 9 months than I did in 8 years faffing around. So when people say you don't need to track calories, yeah, understandable. But if you want the result and you don't want to waste time and you don't want to do guesswork and you want to know what numbers your body needs and you want to have the flexibility as well, start tracking.
It's like having a car with no fuel gauge and just closing your eyes at the fuel station, hoping you put enough fuel in to get to the place you want to go to. Chances are you're not going to make that journey. So why the hell do you think you're going to do it with your diet? It's not going to work. You need a certain amount of calories to either stay at your maintenance, or if you want to gain weight, you need more. If you want to cut weight, you need less. And it's just
if you
simple
put in
math.
too much, it's going to start to spill out.
Right.
And it's costing you, right? And it's not right. And if you don't put in enough, you're not going to get all the way. So you can guess it, but if you get it precisely on, then you're going to win every time. Very good analogy, Callum. Did you make that up? Probably not. It's good.
But I may have heard it somewhere, not from memory, but I know what my memory's like.
That's fantastic. So, that's the perfect way to explain it, because people used to say, oh, you don't have to track your calories, or you can lose weight without it, you just eat, bro. And I'm like, well, they are right. But then I was like, hang on a minute, what's my message to the world of fitness? And I'm like, well, I wouldn't go without tracking. I've done it without tracking. When I don't track, my food it defaults to rubbish. You think, oh, I know what I'm eating, and then you like the butter on your toast gets thicker, and you start having sweets without tracking it, and then you start not getting enough protein, but you think you did because you had some chicken earlier. And then when you look in the mirror and you think my results are looking a bit crap these days, you're like, let me track, and you track, you think, oh, this is wrong. And that's what it is. It's almost like using an axe against a tree. If you keep using that axe all the time, it's going to get blunt, and it starts to become less and less effective. So sometimes you need to go back and sharpen the axe. You don't need to sharpen it every single day forever, but it's one of those things that if you care about the results and care about your mental capacity to enjoy food. Like, I have clients one of my clients, I won't drop names because I don't want to be rude, but you know who you are, Mr. Vodka. We'll say Mr. Vodka. He knows who he is if he's watching. He's not an alcoholic, but he can smash a lot of vodka.
Is he Russian?
No, he's just a cool dude. But basically, he's on point with his nutrition, amazing. But one of the main things he came to me for is he wanted to have that mental flexibility and freedom to get results, but not feel bad about it and not faff around, and just have the freedom to enjoy food and not go, oh my god, I've gone up 10 pounds, I need to go back to salads and smash it. Now he just goes, eats his food, goes away, does what he wants, smashes the bodies, then comes back, picks up his calories back to normal, and he tracks the calories of them. So we know how much he's gone over, we know what to do to fix it. Sometimes you don't even need to fix it. If you go over a little bit, you realise you actually got room. Yeah. But you won't know any of this unless you track it. And it's the tracking that's helped him have the freedom, helped him stay on track, and helps me as his coach know that he's on track. And it's just really helpful. You don't have to track forever. People go, oh, it's obsessive, oh, it's too much. It's not obsessive. You're taking accountability. It's like not paying attention to your bills. Oh, that's obsessive. Just put the money in and then hope it's right. And it's like, no, it needs to be right, otherwise it ain't going to work. So don't let people put you off of it. Don't let people tell you it's obsessive. If you personally hate it and you've tried it and it didn't go well, maybe your numbers were wrong. Maybe you need some help to get it right. But if you genuinely don't get on with it, fine. It's not for everyone. But if someone wants to work with me, and I'm assuming the same with you, if they track, results are guaranteed, because it's a simple equation. And 9 times out of 10, it really opens your eyes to what foods do and what you can have and what works well, and it just gives you that mental freedom to enjoy it. And if you enjoy it, it's more sustainable and you get better results, and it's just a better experience overall. Yeah,
no, I couldn't agree more. And like you said, like, it's the same for both of us. For me, I think when people say it's obsessive, they're people who have never done it consistently and properly to actually get results. They just try it for a bit. They don't like scanning a food packet because that's too difficult. So instead they claim it's obsessive. It's no different to for me, it's a case of that if I wake up and I want to go out for a walk, I can't be bothered to tie my shoes, but I'll just slip them on. Going out for a walk and all of a sudden I fall flat on my face. Ow. Eventually I'm going to go, well, that's not working.
Probably like pay attention to what I'm doing.
Yeah, maybe I'll just do my shoes up.
But that's obsessive, mate.
I know. It's really obsessive. But I'll take a few seconds. It actually takes longer to do your shoes up than track food.
Sometimes that's the case.
Yeah,
it is.
Most of my stuff, because it's what you'll find is when you start tracking more and more, you'll find stuff what works for you, and it all stays in the log anyway. So pretty much it's all there. It's just a few clicks of a button. I had someone I work with who said, they said it's obsessive. So have you done it before?
No, don't worry.
No.
Say something wrong with that.
No, go for it.
I was going to say, is this person in impeccable shape?
You've hit the nail on the head. They are not. And they said to me it's obsessive. They don't want to do that. And I said, well, here's a few reasons why I love it. Is I can eat what I want, and I'm making progress. And also some days if I'm feeling a bit hungry, I go, oh, actually I've got like 400 calories left. I can have that snack.
Yeah,
which
you
I
don't feel
want.
guilty about it because you know it's gonna.
You don't feel
I
guilty
drink whiskey
at
on
all.
a diet.
Yeah, 100%.
And do you know how good it feels to sit there drinking whiskey and then seeing abs appear? You're like, this is brilliant.
People have like said to me like, "What am I doing?" People have asked me what like, my core workouts are. Disclosure at the moment, nothing, because I'm doing lots of compound stuff.
Nothing. Just hanging around.
Yeah. So I do lots of compound stuff. So I do stuff which works my core, but I'm not doing anything specific. I'm just tracking my food, and I'm having a great time. And this
There's
person,
a reason we talk about it all the time.
well, this lady who said to me like, it's obsessive. When I grabbed my lunch, I took 20 seconds. I was like, right, that's everything tracked. And I've shown her how it says at the bottom. She's like, oh, that's really simple.
So yeah.
So I was like, so have you not seen someone do this before? And she goes, no. So why do you think it's obsessive?
Exactly.
Because so many people, it's not.
A lot of the times it's saying, if someone says, oh, that's obsessive, it's very unlikely, but some of the times it can be that they just don't understand it. And that's fine. If you don't understand it, you think, oh, that sounds weird. Sitting there counting numbers and adding them up, that does sound obsessive. Mm-hmm. But when they realise it's as simple as scan a barcode and then hit yes, or search, I add an apple, yes. Okay, the most work you have to do is go, how much chicken do I have, weigh it out, 120 grams. You can always estimate it as well. It's better to estimate it than not do anything at all. And that's it. And then you know what's what for the day and you know you're on target. And when you go to bed at night and go, man, I hit all the numbers, I got my workout in, I feel great, and you start to see results coming in, it's like, wow, I'm glad I did this. It's not obsessive. It's taking control and it's taking accountability. If someone says, oh, that's obsessive, that's too much, a lot of the times it's just, they either go, I don't want to do that because I can't be bothered, or they're like, oh, I don't want to do that because then I realise I've got to make some changes and I don't want to make those changes. And they procrastinate on it, and that's normally what it is.
I mean, this is the thing that, like, let's say you go into the gym for 6 months and you're working your absolute ass off and you're not tracking your food. You may be, yes, you'll gain muscle and, yeah, you will change your body composition slightly.
Maybe.
I mean, you will gain muscle, like, underneath.
What diet's doing, though,
well, yeah, true. Yeah. But, like, you are going to, in some way or another, you are going to change your body composition. But I can guarantee you're not going to see the results you want, because how do you know what you're doing to your body? You don't know.
That was exactly what I did there, mate. And
yeah.
I remember looking in the mirror at the gym, and this was probably about 8 years into it, and I thought, I'm training really well. My routine was bang on. My consistency was amazing because I only worked part-time at the time, so I was obsessed with the gym. It was my favourite thing to do. Smashing it in the gym, getting stronger, but you look the frickin' same. And when people are like, oh, you go to the gym? I'm like, yes, I go to the gym. It's been 8 years. And I knew I was really, like, geeky and nerdy about the training because I was obsessed with it, right? And I was obsessed with, like, muscle insertions and genetics and all this kind of stuff, and I realised my genetics are shit. And I was like, I'm not getting anywhere. And I got so fed up. I just did loads and loads and loads and loads of research. And back then, it was probably like, 2012, 2013-ish, around that time. There wasn't much information out there saying, hey, this is how you track calories. MyFitnessPal was around for a few years, but it was still quite new. It wasn't really talked about. And when I realised calories were the determining factor, whether you gain weight, lose weight, and get your composition right and the macronutrients, I was like, why is no one talking about this? This is more important than all the pre-workouts and what protein powder you're using and whether you got Ezekiel bread or what low-fat fish you've got. I realised all that stuff's rubbish because these numbers make the difference. And that was when I realised the fitness industry is just trying to, like, when it says, hey, come and do the fat burn class, you don't burn fat during the class. Your calories dictate whether you burn fat or not. So I then maybe realised, okay, the industry is just, it's an industry, it's trying to make money, so the basics aren't talked about, or the gimmicky things of what's getting thrown around. A
lot of these classes release a lot of endorphins for you. You're around a group of people who are doing the same thing, and it's an introduction for you to get talking to that PT, and they can potentially make some sales from that class. Nothing wrong with that, because some people need the one-on-one guidance. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But don't think that's going to be the be-all and end-all to a few classes a week.
It's not even the people that work at the gym, it's just the gym itself.
Online classes as well.
Yeah, they're like, hey, get in this class.
Go on a cycle on video.
We're not trying to talk rubbish about classes, because if you sat at home doing nothing and you go to a class because it's social and there are people around you and you get your body moving and it's improving your fitness, it's very good.
Brilliant.
But the way it's packaged, it's like, hey, come do bums and tums, and it's like, it's not going to do anything for that.
Yeah.
If your diet's right and you're doing that, cool. But one of my clients, Shane, I post his transformation quite a lot. He did classes for like 2 years, and I saw him in the class all the time. That's how I met him. That's how he became a client. Very good dude, works his ass off, trains really well, but he wasn't paying attention to his food. He was just trying to eat better, and I kept seeing him in KFC. I wasn't in there, of course, but no, I kept seeing him in KFC. I'm like, hey, what are you doing, mate? And I bet he was in there like, oh, I feel bad about this, I shouldn't be here. And it's like, well, actually, if you tracked it and it fits your numbers, you can fit it in and not worry about it.
Yeah.
And he was also doing all the cardio, thinking that was fat loss. Don't want to do weights, don't want to get too big and bulky. But then he did the weights and tracked calories, and he lost his belly and got stronger. And now he's focused on getting bigger and stronger. But point being is that he was doing the wrong things because that's what the industry points you at, because it's an easy sell. Hey, come in here and jump around, it's part of the membership. Or hey, you should probably track your calories and pay it. No one wants to do it. So as an interest, they target the low hanging fruit. It's the easy people to sell to.
Yeah, I mean,
we were supposed to be talking about flexibility of food. So unless you've got
go for it. My mind was going off on the tangent, but go for it.
So with the food flexibility thing that we were mentioning at the start, there is a fine line, because if you enable too much freedom with what food you can eat, let's say you go, oh, if it fits your macros, mate, it's fine, and then you go and just like drink a gallon of butter and eat some like pizza, and your calories are good. Yeah, you'll still lose weight, of course, if the calories are good, but it's not good for you. Your body's not going to be doing very well. You probably lose muscle if your protein's not high enough, or if the quality of food's a bit low. Or in some cases, like if I put a box of biscuits in front of you now,
they'd be gone. I love biscuits.
And I said there's 10 there, and you can fit 4 in today, in your mouth. You can fit 4 in your mouth, not in one go. You can fit 4 of those into your diet today. If you can trust yourself, cool, I'll have my 4 and I will stop. Then cool, yeah, you can have that flexibility, because you know you can trust yourself. But if you're like, mate, if I have 4, I'm going to want the rest of the other 6. So then in that case, sometimes the flexibility may not be a good idea for that person. So you might have to go, right, okay, let me put the biscuits somewhere really awkward to get. Forget they exist, or don't have them in your house in the first place.
Yeah.
And then don't bother, have something else. Because that's where flexibility is a double-edged sword. You know, you want to eat healthy and good quality foods for health and improvement in longevity, but you also want to be allowed to fit in foods that you enjoy so that you don't go mad. Because if you said, Sam, you can't have whiskey, you can't have, what foods are actually like? No sushi, no whiskey, no KFC, although I have it like once a year, but I do like KFC. If you just said you can't have all these things, all I'm going to be thinking about is, when can I have them, when can I have them, when can I have them? And if I did have them, I'd have one whiskey and go, fuck it, I've had one now. Bosh, give me 10. Where's KFC? All right, yeah, 20 wings, please. I have done that before.
Sorry, no, go on.
But point being is, if you know you're going to go off the handle with that flexibility, then it doesn't work, right? Or if you restrict it too much, that's going to perpetuate a binge or a breakthrough or an overconsumption, right? So you need to be able to allow yourself, okay, cool, today I'm going to have, eggs, it's good for protein, I'm going to have this meal because that's great for this. In the evening, I'm going out for a meal with my girlfriend, I'm going to have a nice pizza and a couple of beers, and I'm going to fit it in. Then it doesn't even feel like you're dieting, and you're still on track if you track it. So the flexibility thing, it's very much an individual basis. I have some clients that if I give them too much flexibility, it would destroy them. And I have some clients that like to be straightforward and simple, and I have to sometimes say to them, hey, you're allowed like an ice cream if you want.
Yeah.
Or some of them, you need more food, why don't you go and have a pizza? Like, you need to be flexible so that it's long-term sustainable. And if you don't want the junk food and you want to be super healthy, that works even better. More power to you. But flexibility, it's a tool that should be used. But if you're not tracking, you just eat and going, it's a cheat day, or I starve myself a week so I can have a binge on the weekend. Sometimes you might just go way over and just mess it up. So
that's the thing, just because like you track calories daily, it's an overall average. For me, it comes back to sort of human psychology. It's very common for us as humans to want what we can't have the most. So as soon as you start thinking, I can't have this, or I can't have that, I can't have these biscuits, it's very easy to go, well, I want those. And that's also where I think where people mess up. Whereas if you know in your diet you can have everything you want, I'm going to use myself as an example. I do have all my macros set out, my carbs, my fat, my protein. But if you want to just start with your calories and your protein, you're not really going to go over on too much fat. Like it's a very good way to base it, and that's what I've done with like previous clients, and it's worked a treat. So, like for me, I love my biscuits. It's funny you use that as an example. I had some biscuits the other day. I had a Nando's yesterday, and did I go over my carbs yesterday? I did. But I knew I was.
But you tracked it, so if you need to rectify it, you can.
And later on in this week, they're going to be lower.
Well, if you don't rectify it, you get to the end of the week and go, have I made progress? Yeah, cool, no problem then. No worries, no guilt, no stress. But if you didn't track it, you probably would have had more because there's no limitation or restriction.
Yes.
And then you'd feel bad and you think, oh, damn. And then the next day you wake up and have a dry fish in a ice skate and go, And then you're not going to like it. And then you're going to get in this toxic spinning cycle of eating too much, then starving yourself, eating too much, starving yourself. If you constantly hit a target that's just below your maintenance, it's more sustainable, it's healthier, performance in the gym's better, you probably will still be able to get an erection.
Yes, yeah.
and it's just more enjoyable. I mean, if it's enjoyable and that's the way it works, and you've got the flexibility to be social with things, not with the erection, but be social with the things, then you can stick to it for 6 months, 12 months, get results, and then the best thing from there is you then know what your maintenance calories are, so you can eat more freely instead of going, Now what? Should I just go back to normal and put it all back on?
Full disclosure, I wasn't tracking once and was like, right, what's going on? Had like tests for testosterone and stuff, and like everything was okay. And then I was like, whoa, I've not been tracking. I've had fuck all carbs.
Yeah.
And like it really made an impact. And also going back to the whole Nando's thing. Why did I have a Nando's yesterday? Well, one, I've got back in bites later today, so I wanted to have some
Nando's
extra.
is delicious as well.
Love it. Some people think it's basic. You know what you're getting every time, and it's beautiful. But it was a social thing. Some mates really wanted me to come out. I denied it multiple times, and I ended up saying to them because they wanted, like, they love Italian. I like Italian, but there's lots of carbs in Italian.
Pasta.
I was like, look, we do go Nando's 7:30. I'm there. Get my protein, get my carbs, training back and bites a day. But it was a social thing. If you deny yourself all the time, social events, all these things, which just, again, as humans, we want this interaction, we want to have fun, we want to enjoy what we eat. You're not going to stick to it, and that's where the flexibility comes in.
And you'll start to resent it as well.
Yeah, 100% you will. 100% you will.
I think that pretty much sums it up, man. So, in case you didn't know, we absolutely advocate for tracking calories. Don't think it's something you have to do forever. It's not obsessive. It's scanning a barcode and tapping yes, or roughly estimating what you've eaten, and it will change how you see food. It makes things a lot more flexible, makes things more enjoyable. It means you can eat dinner with your family and not have to eat chicken out of a farty tub. How rude. Look at this professionalism. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Are you checking back to clients, mate? Is that all?
No, I'm showing, right, and...
Or he's going to scan that. A draw's fun? Technically, you don't even need to. There's nothing in it.
I know it's nothing
in it. There you go.
But I'm just
See
proving
that?
the point.
Well, we'll time track calories. Mate, if you're watching this on TikTok, you got time to track calories, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Or Instagram if you're actually cool.
It's that simple.
Yeah, it is. So, if you like this video, like the video. If you subscribe. If you comment. Follow us on Instagram.
Follow us on Instagram. Carl Spencer
I
Training.
did a little thing.
Oh, is it down?
Yeah, wherever, mate. I'm only going to put it in one place. I ain't got that much time and energy to put it everywhere for fun. I'll hire a video editor.
We need an editor.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And yeah, as mandatory on every episode, probably have already missed it in some episodes, but we like fragrances.
Yes,
if you're going to train to look good, you don't want to stink. And I'm sure everyone here has gone to the gym and someone stinks, right? So we're both fragrance... cringing come in.
Nerds.
Frag heads.
Oh.
But that's what we are.
Fragrance nerds.
I said frag heads, not dickheads. Or both. So what is one wearing today, mate?
One is wearing Salvatore Ferragamo Uomo Signature. And it's got me a lot of compliments recently. It's got me a lot of compliments.
Yeah,
and it's grown on me. I never was massive on it. Wore it to, like, quote unquote wagey job. People are going to hate me now. Fuck it.
No one's going to watch this far.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
They're cool.
To be fair, like, I'm cool with it anyway because critical thinking. But no, wore it there and got a lot of compliments. I was like, wore it more, and it's grown on me loads. I really like it now.
Good.
What are you wearing?
YSL EDP. Actually wearing. I like it. It's really strong, very good, very nice, very. It's not cheap.
Very good.
I was going to say very good, very cheap, very nice. But no, I'm wearing a YEDP, bit basic. I actually haven't worn it in ages, so I just thought I'd whack it on today.
Nah, classic.
But yeah, that's fragrances. One thing I always forget to do, I'm going to do this now to put in the TikTok videos, call to action for the nutrition tracker.
I need a lead magnet.
Yeah. Well, I'll help you with that, mate. Nice guy.
To be fair, I just need to tell people to track calories in it and show them how to track calories.
Give them
but like a step-by-step thing is what I mean.
Don't worry, we'll come to that
Yeah.
So if you want some help understanding your nutrition and knowing what kind of numbers to be hitting, calories and macros, I have a nutritional blueprint you can download. Message me on Instagram at Elite Transformation Project or hit the link in the bio to get it for free. Yeah, baby!